This is the most fun I've had at the movies in a long time. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the latest film from Gore Verbinski. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Timely as hell, putting AI on blast, this movie centers around an eccentric time traveler, played by Sam Rockwell, who walks into a diner on a random night and starts preaching about saving a dystopian future ruled by technology and rogue, evil AI. To save this future, he must recruit a specific combination of dinner patrons to embark on a dangerous journey with him, including Ingrid, played by Haley Lou Richardson, a couple, Mark and Janet, played by Michael Pena and Zazie Beetz, Susan, played by Juno Temple, Scott, played by Asim Chaudhry, and a few others. What follows is 2 hours of some of the most unapologetically weird and deep cinema I've seen in years, and I fucking loved it.
That is cinema!
Before I dive into any of that, let's talk about the characters and their performances. This whole cast kills it. Sam Rockwell is absolutely unhinged and eccentric in the best of ways, truly embodying the spirit of someone who's been in this exact situation time and time again. He felt very reminiscent of Bill Murray in Groundhog Day or Andy Samberg in Palm Springs, but at the crucial part of the movie where they've accepted their fate and they're just completely over this time loop thing. For about the first half of the movie, almost every line out of Sam Rockwell's mouth is laugh out loud worthy. And when combined with the sheer insanity of his costume design,
what are you wearing?
How dirty he is, and his great banter with the rest of the cast, it's impossible not to like this guy, or at the very least get sucked in by his performance. But he's not all laughs and clever line delivery. There's a deep-rooted pain in this character that really comes to the surface in the back half of the film, and Rockwell once again proves why he earned that Oscar win for 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. The rest of the cast, while not being nearly as eccentric or unhinged, brings their own style of comedic timing and dramatic weight to this film, from Michael Pena's nervous energy to Zazie Beetz' confusion to Asim Chaudhry's pure bewilderment and apathy towards the time traveler. But it's Juno Temple and Haley Lou Richardson that really tied this cast together for me. They both hit such dramatic highs with their roles in this story, with Temple playing a grieving mother willing to do anything to get her son back, and Richardson playing a woman somehow allergic to technology.
Hold up. Wait a minute!
That is doing her best just to get through each and every day. They both portray this pain and isolation so well that I was completely sucked into their character journeys. And I appreciate that the film would naturally cut from the action in the present to a few days before, showing each of their stories and arcs that led up to them joining with the time traveler in the first place. And even with all the emotional weight and gravitas these characters carry, they never lose a sense of fun and humor that pops in at just the right times to bring some levity to this admittedly hefty story. The cast also all play off each other very well, which, when combined with the timing and strength of the comedy, Matthew Robinson's script, and Gore Verbinski's direction, I just think it all really worked.
I liked it.
This movie expertly bounces between a thrilling, hilarious journey as the time traveler leads his ragtag group of warriors across town, which was constantly and consistently exciting and laugh-worthy. And just when it starts to feel a little bit too much, Verbinski and his editor, Craig Wood, wisely pause the action to jump back in time to flesh out this cast of characters, and like I said before, it really works. I mentioned them already, but I especially connected hard with Haley Lou Richardson's Ingrid and Juno Temple's Susan and their stories, but even if the rest of the characters don't get nearly as deep of writing, these scenes are still very well written and do a great job fleshing out this world and the rising threat of an AI takeover. Now, I will admit this movie is definitely not going to be for everyone. This story holds up a mirror to our technology addicted, violence ridden, AI driven society, and most people are not going to like what they see staring back at them.
What?
But damn it, this movie didn't commit hard to its message and carry it as far as it could to some truly great effect, even if, in my opinion, things get a little too insane by the end to really land the impact.
This is too weird.
But even then, I admired the hell out of just how weird this movie got. Gore Verbinski is one of the most visionary directors I've seen in my lifetime, and is absolutely no stranger to injecting irreverence, weirdness, and existentialism into his filmography. His smaller movies like Mouse Hunt, Rango, A Cure for Wellness, they all have moments that force the audience to say, what the f***? Or to just really think about what the movie is trying to say. And that even extends to his blockbusters like the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy or The Lone Ranger, a movie that I think gets far too much hate.
What?
Good luck, have fun, don't die definitely has those moments, especially when we get deeper into what this AI uprising actually is and confront the sad reality of much of the US right now. From teenagers completely addicted to doom scrolling just for another dopamine hit, people using AI to rule every part of their lives and remove the need for even a simple thought, children at birthday parties with their nose in a screen instead of interacting with their friends, grown-ass men losing themselves in a virtual reality world and deciding to stay there permanently, and even the sad reality of violence in America and how it impacts schools, students, and parents. See why I said this movie isn't going to be for everyone?
Yep.
That last point alone, along with the movie actually injecting humor into that point, is going to turn a lot of people off. For me though, I think it all came together very well and was a surprise I actually enjoyed. Oh, and I want to shout out Jeff Zanelli's score, really matching this film's off-kilter and eccentric tone, mixing elements like jazz, sweeping orchestra, and synths and guitars. But it's not all perfect, and I wouldn't be true to my nitpicky self if I didn't have a few complaints.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Firstly, though there's some solid visual effects here, some of the CGI lacks polish and was pretty noticeable, especially one larger-than-life effect that comes in near the end, even if it did make me laugh my ass off. Second, though we get some truly great development arcs from Haley Lou Richardson's and Juno Temple's characters, Michael Pena and Zazie Beetz are mostly just surface-level characters elevated by their performances, while characters like Asim Chaudhry are just there.
Look, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I forgot you're here.
With paper-thin writing and characterization. Lastly, though I love the weird existential irreverence here, this movie just gets a little too out there by the climax. Don't get me wrong, I applaud Verbinski and Robinson for not compromising their vision and even finding a studio to fund this weird-ass movie, but it just gets a little too metaphorical and visually overwhelming by that point, and it just kind of left me confused until we headed into the epilogue. Overall though, this is one of the smarter, more thought-provoking movies I've seen recently, complemented by incredible performances, laugh-out-loud humor, solid action, a potent emotional core, and an incredible soundtrack. Even if it stumbles a bit in the special effects department, leaves a few characters feeling paper thin, and goes a little too off the rails in the third act to the point where it gets a little confusing. And that's my review of Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell to be notified whenever I post. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week for my reviews of How to Make a Killing and Psycho Killer. Oh, and Pixel Scene Media sent me another screener for a movie, Undercard, so I'll see when I can fit that in. See you then.